This is lesson 7-2. I think you will find this one not to be anything outrageously challenging because it starts very straightforward, pretty simple. And then in the next couple lessons, we'll get a little bit fancier with it. But this first one is a monomial times a binomial. And here's just your little thing to think about here, okay? To multiply a monomial and any polynomial, so binomial, a trinomial, any polynomial, you're just distributing. You're taking whatever is out in front, or sometimes it's back behind, but I think these ones are all out in front. You're using the product rule. So if you remember, we did in just this last chapter, we did this. If there was a number to some power, and we multiplied it with that same base to a different power, or it even could be to the same power, what did we do with those powers? What did we do with A and B? We added them, okay? A power with another power, if they have the same base, you add them together. So this was x to the a plus b. That's essentially what you're doing. You're taking an x to the first times an x to the first, which is an x to the 1 plus 1, which is an x to the second power. So you're going to distribute this x times x is x squared, and then x times 4 is 4x. And whatever sign is in between there is the sign that you're going to keep with it, unless there's a negative out in front of the thing you're distributing, then the sign's going to change. Okay? So look at example 2 here. This one gets a little bit fancier. If you have a 5m cubed out in front, and we have to distribute that now to 3 things, 1, 2, and 3. What's 5m cubed times 3m squared? 15. So you first multiply the numbers. 5 times 3 is 15. M to what power? M squared times m cubed times m squared is what? What do you do with your powers? You add them together. That's m to the 5th power. Okay? Then you move on to the next term. 5m cubed times a negative m. So it's going to be minus, there's just a 5 there, m to what power? Add them together, it's a 4. And then last one, 5m cubed, times a negative 7, what do you get? Negative 35 m cubed. Okay, so that's your simplified form of that. Any questions on that? Okay, so let's just try a few of these. We're not doing anywhere close to all of these, but we're going to just try a few. Take a look at this first one. Number 1. Tell your neighbor what you get when you multiply k by k minus 9. So what'd you get? K squared. K times k is k squared. K times 9 is 9k. We are subtracting 9k. Is that what you got? Pretty straightforward, right? Move to number 4. Now you're taking 3c to the 5th times a negative 2c. What do you get from that? A negative 6, c to the 6th power. Add the exponents together. This is a 1, technically. 5 plus 1 is 6. Is this going to be plus or minus? It's going to be minus, because this is a positive by a negative. So minus 15, what? What? The 5th. 15c to the 5th. Okay, and we're going in descending order, and that's what our exponents are doing right now, c to the 6th and then c to the 5th, so that's the order we want them in, and you're done. Okay, jump down to number 7. work that one out on your own and then compare with your neighbor. See what you get. Number 7. And then we will move on to the next thing. Try number 12. All right, what did you get on number 12? What's your first term going to be once you distribute? What's your number? 12. 3 times 4 is 12. A times A squared is what? A cubed. And B what? So the first, just B. And you don't have to write the 1 in. Okay, so that's your first part. Second part, are you adding or subtracting? You're subtracting. 3 times 7 is 21. A with no A over here is just going to be A. And then you have B and B cubed. B times B cubed is B to what power? The 4th. Okay, so that is your answer. So add the exponents, right? If they both have a base of A, add the A exponents together, you'll get your simplified answer. Okay, these two down here, you're going to distribute still, and then you're going to simplify from there. So it's going to kind of combine what we did yesterday with what we're doing today a little bit. So we're going to start on 15 by distributing this guy. Okay, so negative 2x times 3x, what do you get there? A negative 6, x to the second power. Then you multiply negative 2x times negative 4. Are you adding or subtracting? Adding. A negative times a negative is a positive, and that's 8x. And then there's this plus 7x at the end. So once it's all addition and subtraction like this, then you can start to combine. Which of those things can you combine? The 8x and the 7x. Only the things that are like terms, okay? They have to have the same exponent, not the same letter, same exponent to that letter. They do have to have the same letter too. So this would be a negative 6x squared plus 8x plus 7x is 15x. Okay? I did it wrong in my notes.
What would you do if there was an exponent behind it? Do you add the exponent or multiply?
If there was an exponent behind what?
The 7x minus.
You would add the numbers. The exponent would stay put. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it would be, sorry, I'm trying to fix my notes because I had it written wrong. Like if you had, well, let me see if this one does it. No, it really doesn't. If you had like 6x squared minus 15x squared, you would go 6 minus 15 is a negative 9, but it's still x squared. It's like saying 6 apples and you take away, this doesn't make sense, 15 apples, you still have apples. So you want to keep the x squared. Okay, 16. Distribute this. You get a negative 35, what? W squared. Are you taking notes right now? You should take notes right now. W squared, and then 5w times 3 is 15w. Okay, then you have this guy that needs to get distributed also. So you get negative 2w times 13 is a negative 26w. Here's where it can get a little confusing at times. You have a negative 2w times a negative 9w squared. What is that? What?
Negative 18w.
Not negative though.
Oh, positive 18?
Yeah, so it's a negative times a negative, so it's positive, and then it's 18w, w times w squared is cubed. Okay, so now you have a cubed, you have a squared, and you have two w's. What can be combined? just the w's. So we're going to combine these and we're going to rearrange. So we're going to put the 18w cubed out in front for standard form. We're going to subtract 35w squared, and then 15w minus 26w. What do you get there? A negative 11w. Okay, so you're adding or subtracting the coefficients, but it's still a w. The w doesn't go away because you're subtracting. Okay? Questions on that? Okay. How good are you feeling about this? How many more of these do you need? Like 2 more? 3 more maybe? 0 more? Well, if you need 0 more, I really don't care if you start on the homework. But those of you that know you need more, you should stay with me. I do have one more question at the end that I want you to see, though. Let's do 23. Is that good? Or 18? 18 and 23? 18 and 23. Let's do 18. So this one, you're going to distribute a 6x first. So you get 12x times x is x squared. And then 6x times a negative 3 is a negative 18x. Okay. Then the next one, you're going to distribute that negative 5. And you're distributing a negative 5, not just a 5. Okay. Distribute the whole thing. Negative 5 times 2x squared is a negative 10x squared. Negative 5, God bless you, times 9x is a negative 45x. And then what do you get for your last term? Plus or minus? Negative 5 times negative 3. Plus 15. Okay, so you're here. Now you combine your like terms. So you have 12x squared minus 10x squared. That's 2x squared. Then you have negative 18x. Make sure that negative stays with the 18. Okay, you have to keep the negative out in front with it. It's whatever comes in front of the number, not what comes behind the number. So this is negative 18x minus 45x. So negative 18 minus 45 is a negative 63x. What comes at the end of it all? Plus 15. Okay, questions on that? Okay, let's do 23. Why don't you try 23 on your own first? And then I'll walk you through it. And then we might just, no, I'm going to do 26 with you. We're going to do 23 and 26, and then we're done. On number 23, what'd you get? Tell me your final answer. Well, that's helpful. I do appreciate that. It's good. On 23? Did you do number 23?
I was doing the homework.
This is helpful. Okay, do this one with me. So this is a negative 2r to the 4th. Is this positive or negative? Plus. Minus a negative is plus a positive. So plus 12r cubed. Add those together. Minus 12r. Okay. Oh, this one's tricky. Did you distribute 4r cubed? Because you can't. There's this minus here. What number is in front of these parentheses? It's a negative 1. So essentially you're distributing a negative 1 here. So this is plus 4r cubed minus 5r to the 4th minus 10r. Okay, then you find the ones that are the same. So a negative 2r to the 4th and a negative 5r to the 4th is a negative 7r to the 4th. Did you do that? Move on to the cubes. 12r cubed plus 4r cubed is 16r cubed. And then the last one, negative 12r minus 10r is a negative 22r. Did you get that? You're so antsy, huh? All right, last one. This is finding the area of a shaded region. So first of all, before we even talk the math behind it in terms of algebra, let's talk geometry, shapes. How do you find the area of a rectangle?
Area equals length times width.
Length times width or base times height, either one is good. So if I want the area of the shaded, I want the area of what? How would you find that? Don't give me numbers, just give me words.
Oh, you get the outside one and the inside.
Mm-hmm. Find the area of the outside one and do what to it? Subtract the inside one. Okay, so this is fancy. The outside one is 6x times 8x minus 1. The inside one is 2x times 5x plus 3. We're taking this and we are subtracting that whole thing. That's a doozy. Oh, that almost looked really not okay. Okay, so distribute the 6x. You get 48 what?
X squared.
X squared. 48x squared. Distribute the 6x here. You get minus 6x. Okay. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to distribute this so we find the area of it first and then we'll subtract it. Okay. So this one's going to be 10x squared and 6x. That's because you're talking instead of listening. So we're going to subtract this one minus the other one. So it's going to be 48x squared minus 10x squared is 38x squared. And then it's a negative 6x minus 6x is a negative 12x. That would be the area of the shaded. So it's taking what we did yesterday with subtraction and taking what we did today with multiplication and putting them together. Okay? Questions on that?